What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the DTB Classics show. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the whole Salt-N-Pepa biopic and how they excluded Spinderella from the movie. Now, before we get started in the subject at hand, I have not watched the movie. I wanted to watch it before I did a video on it, but honestly, I just don't know if I can support the movie knowing how they just excluded Spinderella. Now, we all know that since the 90s, it has always been an ongoing problem within Salt-N-Pepa and Spinderella. And my issue with it is, you know, Salt-N-Pepa is a iconic female hip hop group, duo, whatever you want to call it. They're iconic, okay? They definitely have paved the way for so many female rappers after them, and they have definitely left their footprint in hip hop history. And my problem is that with them excluding Spinderella in the biopic, it's like them leaving out important information in hip hop history, especially in the world that we live in today, with, you know, the younger generation not really knowing a lot of things about hip hop history, with a lot of the outlets that the XENNIALs, my generation, and the generations before my generation had the luxury of knowing and learning about through VH1 Classics, MTV, all that. You know, now it's just nothing but reality TV. But once upon a time, even a lot of young people didn't even know that VH1 was, you know, the channel that we used to watch to learn facts, to learn things about hip hop history. And with those outlets being taken away from us, it's only so much that the younger generation can know or learn. So with Salt-N-Pepa in the whole Spinderella situation, a lot of younger people don't even know that it was a original Spinderella before the current Spinderella. Now, the original Spinderella, she said in an interview that she decided to leave the group because it was of the cattiness. It was like a whole bunch of dang cat fights behind the scenes. But if you look this information up on Google, it says that she wasn't showing up to appearances and she wasn't showing up to things. And they had to let her go, and therefore she was replaced with the Spinderella that we all know today.
So, as far as Salt and Pepper goes, what kind of relationship have you guys had over the years, and what really caused you to separate from the group?
Oh, wow. You're going to have to get my book for this one. It was, it was like creative differences, jealousy, the regular cat fight stuff,
Yeah.
Every hard. I always dealt with, females being, they look at me and think, oh, she's stuck up, she's defeated, she thinks she's cute, and that whole type of, nonsense. So that's basically how it went down. They couldn't, not Pepper. Me and Pepper was cool. It was mainly like Salt. Me and her just really didn't rock out. I don't know. I guess it was I don't know. Maybe it was a light skin versus a brown skin. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. You gotta ask her.
Right.
I know
right.
She may have another theory. Like I don't know. Just being intimidated by another girl that's just as talented or more. And whatever. She just felt intimidated by me. So it started to be a real problem. Creativity, it was a problem. Doing shows together became a problem. It just became, it just, I don't know, it just built up. The intensity just built up, and I just couldn't deal with it no more. It was very unprofessional of them, so I couldn't deal with it because I'm not used to that. So I couldn't deal with it.
Right. So, what about? Did you have any issues or any personal beefs or disagreements with the next Spinderella that came around?
Actually, when I first met her, she seemed to be kind of cool about everything, but um, it was like it was two sided. Like in my face, it was like, oh, Spin, I respect you. I can never stand in your shoes. Like that. Everything is cool. She introduced me to her family. And I respect her. But then I gave her opportunities to do certain things, being that they did the reality show and they dissed her. I didn't even tell her about the show. Then I found out she told me personally they wasn't even paying her.
Right.
Then after a while they started, trying to negotiate something with her, when they changed management or something, I don't know. But then she started doing stuff with them. But she was feeling the bite, the same thing I was feeling, and I said, yeah, well now you know what I was going through. So now it's like it's not that I'm not there not because I don't want to be there, it's because of the situation. So
right.
Good luck, you can hang in there, you go ahead. But then behind my back, it's like, oh, when they do shows, like they were on the Oprah Winfrey show, and she's like, oh, they're like, okay, well, so you're the original Spinderella. She's like, yeah, I'm the real Spinderella. It's the one and only. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, did you not think that I'm not gonna watch that? Like how you gonna just say that? Like a real person be like, yeah, well, there was another Spinderella, but I'm Spinderella number 2. I came in, took her place or whatever because she left the group. Don't try to disrespect me, especially on national television, because you get slapped for that.
Ooh, yeah. Definitely.
That was a call for the 5 fingers and the backhand side, the black side. That was crazy. I was like, oh God, oh no. But and it's not that it happened just that time. It happened more than one time.
Right.
It's crazy. They was on at one time. They went on BET, not knowing that I got Mad Juice on BET. I know, the program director, so and so and so and so. The hacks up there, like, are you crazy? They got on there talking about, oh, Spinderella, she was a real bitch and all this stuff like that. Fucking real greasy. I'm like, oh no. So it was like, that happened then, and that was like late '90s that happened.
Yeah.
And I kind of like I let it slide only because they called me up to BET and like, listen, we're gonna give you an opportunity to come up here and talk about the situation, to rectify the whole situation. Because if we had known they were gonna come out their mouth like that, we would have cut it. But the way it was done, it was too late to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
So they just cut the interview short, but they weren't able to cut out what they said, like delete what she said. And then people made sure that they kept us far away from each other, so when things wouldn't get crazy when we finally saw each other. But so I went up there and rectified the whole situation and that whole nine. So then it diffused for a while. So during the millennium years, everything seemed to be kind of cool, but there was like a lot of little talk behind my back here and there, saying little sidebar stuff. So I was like, okay, the day will come.
Even Wendy Williams auditioned to be the DJ of Salt-N-Pepa, which is really crazy if you think about it. Can you imagine this being Wendy Williams we're talking about as Spinderella? So the original Spinderella, she said that she left the group. They did her wrong. They was doing her dirty. She felt Salt was jealous of her, maybe because it was a whole light skin kind of situation. And, with Herbie, the person who founded them, it was probably some things going on with, the man involved with Salt-N-Pepa, which wouldn't be too shocking if it was true. But my thing is with the original Spinderella is you do interviews and you claim that you left the group, but then in these interviews you always want to say how I'm the original member and I'm, a part of the iconic group Salt-N-Pepa, where it's just like, okay, you made the decision to leave, so why are you still trying to claim yourself as the original Spinderella? Even though you are. My thing is, you know, I don't know if this is karma for the current Spinderella based off of what the original Spinderella said, how she tried to warn the current Spinderella about how she was treated within the group. And the current Spinderella, in her face, acted like she understood and she was with it. But when she would go on interviews, she would try to downplay the original Spinderella, like it's only one Spinderella, I'm that Spinderella, and this and that. And she felt some kind of way about it. She was like, that's something you get smacked over, you know. So to me, it just seems like a whole bunch of catty female stuff. My problem is, regardless of what Spinderella and Salt-N-Pepa, regardless of their problems with each other, you know, because Spinderella did sue them last year for unpaid royalties and this and that. Regardless of that, you can't erase hip-hop history because you and your feelings about something, because you and your ego about something. Like, to me, this is all ego driven, and it's just really disturbing the fact that where we're at now in the world and how hip-hop history has kind of been swept under the rug. A lot of the newer generation don't even know a lot of the hip-hop history. And then when we finally get platforms like Lifetime to do biopics, it's all screwed up. And, you know, I just don't trust Lifetime doing biopics with music people anyway. So I don't even know if I'm going to watch the movie. If you guys have watched the movie, let me know how you think about it in the comments. But I just want to say, Spinderella, I feel for her, but maybe this is your karma for not listening to the original Spinderella. I don't know. Who knows? But from even the 90s, it just seemed like they will always give Spinderella the short end of the stick. I have this performance from my VHS collection that I did post on the DTB Classics Facebook page of Salt-N-Pepa performing. And even back then, as a kid, in this little part, I'm going to link it here, how Peppa really just undermined Spinderella, like she really didn't give two shits about Spinderella. I'm going to link that right here.
Yo, Salt, wait a minute. What's up? Yo, I forgot to tell you about my date last night.
Oh, somebody asking where's Spinderella. She's not feeling well today, but she sent her love. She want to say hello to everybody in the house. Hey, y'all look in the camera and tell Spinderella hi. Here go camera, right over here.
Y'all want to hear about my date now?
What happened, Pep?
Yo, let me tell you.
So, I'm just like, it seemed like Peppa had an attitude. I'm like, did she have an attitude because people actually was asking for Spinderella? Or did she have an attitude that Spinderella wasn't there and she was sick? And I'm like, was she really sick? Or was it just so much drama and animosity going on that she didn't show up? Now, I did a video about female rappers, how they contributed to hip-hop culture. I'll post that link below. But I bring that up to say this year, Salt-N-Pepa is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Awards at the Grammys. And with the whole history of Salt-N-Pepa and how they contributed to the Grammy boycott that was in 1988 or 1989, one of those that was led by, Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff. A lot of people contributed to the boycott. Kid and Play, Public Enemy, Spike Lee. And it's just like, Spinderella was right there. You can't claim that she wasn't there. Now, she was a replacement, but it seemed like she contributed to the growth of the group. She was on multiple songs of the group. She was there at the boycott. So it's just like this whole Lifetime Achievement Award, knowing the history of the Grammys, how they tried to play hip hop in the first place. You guys are so willing to take this Lifetime Achievement Award, but not give Spinderella the props and the credit that's due to her, regardless of how y'all feel about her or regardless of what is going on behind the scenes. You owe it to the younger generation. You owe it to the real hip-hop fans who even know that it was an original Spinderella, who even know that Wendy Williams was one of the people who auditioned to be the DJ Spinderella. You owe it to them to tell the truth and show what really happened. And that's why I just don't see me really supporting the movie. I might watch it, I might not, I don't know. And it just seems like a bunch of catty female stuff, and it just shows, how hip-hop has grown so much over the years, but still how DJs get disrespected, the producers get disrespected by the rappers. Okay, the rappers, they're center stage. But if you know the history of hip-hop, you know that the DJs was the original stars. Nothing could happen without the DJ or the producer. But nowadays, rappers, not just Salt-N-Pepa, but rappers in general, especially the new rappers, they feel like they can just erase the contribution of producers and DJs. It's like DJs barely exist nowadays. But with groups like Salt-N-Pepa, the DJ did play a major part. And a lot of people compare this to Run DMC and Jam Master Jay. It's like them doing a biopic and not including him. And some people will say, well, he contributed so much to Run DMC. And, a lot of people will be like, you will never hear Will Smith count Jazzy Jeff out with anything that's Fresh Prince related. It's frustrating how the rappers always try to count the DJ out like they're more important. First of all, it takes real talent and skill to be a DJ. It takes real talent and skill to be a producer. Yes, you can rap. Yes, you can dance. But give props where props is due. Okay. And Spinderella, she does feel some kind of way about it. She feels like she's always counted out. She feels like, it messed with her self-esteem, that she's not that important, even though she's on multiple album covers, she's on multiple videos. She comes center stage when need be to show, yeah, she can rap, but she can also play the background as the DJ. Now I know Salt-N-Pepa, they go on interviews and they want to talk about how they contribute to, the current female rappers, and the current female rappers need to pay homage. They don't pay homage enough. Some do, some don't. But it's like, what are you doing for them? Every time these new female rappers are beefing and getting into it, where is Salt-N-Pepa coming to try to bring the peace within the female rap community, like a lot of the male rappers do with the new generation of male rappers? It's suspect, and it's disappointing as a real hip-hop fan, as a female who looked up to Salt-N-Pepa. Like, I love me some Salt-N-Pepa, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, y'all exclude Spinderella? Because first of all, like, Spinderella was really like the eye candy of the group. And I say that because my father loved him some Spinderella. Like, he was married to my mom, but even married people have they crush, quote unquote crush. Spinderella was my daddy's crush, okay? And that's why he even gave Salt-N-Pepa any type of acknowledgement because of Spinderella. It's just like when you have a group or a duo, everybody plays their part. And without one part, it's not really a whole. It's not really a whole. You can't really just say that, she didn't have nothing to do with it. Or then you try to put her in there just enough so where you don't have to pay her. Or it just shows character flaws at the end of the day. Because honestly, Peppa, she's rubbed me the wrong way since it came out that Will Smith really tried to get at her back in the day, and she really just tried to play him to the left because he wasn't tough or thug enough. And then she went with somebody like Tretch over Will Smith. So that lets me know that you got some dang issues, and you are not really a good judge of character. And, you know, that's not inspirational to young girls. You're showing young girls that, you know, the whole dynamic with, oh, he's too nice, so I'm going to get with the thug dude to treat me bad, to get beat. Because, you know, she allegedly said that Tretch used to beat on her and stuff. So you pass up somebody like Will Smith to get with Tretch, to get beat on, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like Salt. She started rubbing me the wrong way when she became Christian. Not that, you know, being Christian is bad, you know, to reach your own with whatever you want to believe in. But it just seemed like she just had her nose kind of up in the air, like she was just too good to do certain things within a group. And, you know, she talks about how, you know, Jesus has saved her life and helping her do this and that. Well, if Jesus helped save your life, then why are you doing this little stuff to Spinderella? It's all about morals. It's all about integrity. Is Jesus helping you with your integrity, Sock? Because it doesn't really look like it. And when you got interviewed on the Breakfast Club, it looked like you was just going around the subject. And, you know, it's just really disappointing to see that a group that you grew up on, inspired by, all these years later, actually have the opportunity to really leave their legacy by, you know, this biopic, especially for the younger generation to learn, and then you leaving stuff out. I guess this is like the downfall of people doing biopics when people are still alive. Because I don't know, it seemed like biopics and, you know, movies like this was better when people was kind of dead, or it was just like one or two people who knew the story. I don't know. Comment below and tell me y'all opinions about this, because this is really irritating, like on a hip-hop history level. And this is what this channel is really all about, is to shine light on history, to enlighten the newer generation who might not know, who haven't even heard of a Salt-N-Pepa or a Salt-N-Pepa song, because they was born in dang 2005 or something like that. So I just really hope that they get this together, like on a personal level and just for hip-hop history. You can't be rewriting hip-hop history because you feel some kind of way, because of ego, because of pride. You know, keep it true for the new generation out here. And I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Let me know what you think about the movie. Like, should we support this movie? Should we not? And then also they're saying that, well, it was a biopic just about Salt-N-Pepa, like, because they was friends before Spinderella and all that came out, so they should be able to tell their story. But come on, even if you tell y'all story as friends, you can't leave out Spinderella like that. You just can't. Like, I want to see the biopic redone, and I want to see all the tea. I want to see how the original Spinderella came in and how that situation panned out. See, I feel like they don't want to show that, because it's Salt, you know, she all in the church now, and she got this image she want to uphold and portray. But nah, we need to see what really went down. Did you try to fight with the original Spinderella? Was y'all jealous of each other because y'all had like this light-skinned beef going on? I want to know. And Peppa, yeah, I want to know how she tried to play Will Smith and then eventually got with Tretch. I don't know if they mentioned that in the movie. I don't know. So maybe I'll watch it and reply to this my own self. But like I said, this is DTB Classics. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And more content to come, you guys. Until next time.
I let my tape rock to my tape pop. I let my tape rock to my tape pop.